Good afternoon and welcome to CARG. I have with me today Professor Patrick Murphy from Temple University, who just gave a book talk at the Center for Advanced Research in Global Communication at the Annenberg School for Communication at the University of Pennsylvania. Patrick's book is called The Media Commons, Globalization, Environmental Discourses. So we are beginning today our first CARG Books video with Patrick. These are a series of very brief interviews about books that I think are important for the field of international communication. Patrick Murphy, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And it's a pleasure to be here at the center and be able to share my work.
What led you to write this book?
This is really a book that's been, I suppose, percolating for a long time, based on both my interest in environmental issues, but also in global media and the process of globalization. And really what I wanted to try and do with this book was take a look at the way in which our global media systems have been evolving and shaping particular ways of thinking about the environment, which is the second part of the title, the Globalization, Environmental Discourses. So in this idea of discourse, this sense of how the ideas presented within our global media systems shape our relationships with the Earth.
And what are the main claims that you make in the book?
Well, the primary claim is that the system that we have, the systems, I should say that in plural, that we have, they present many different ways in which we think about environmental stewardship, some of them which are progressive. The overarching message that we receive is one in which we can continue to live lifestyles that have sort of endless consumption, that we can continue to see ourselves as people who engage the world through our desires, our pleasures that are material. And that ultimately is a failed model, and that we need to have more progressive ways in which we can think about environmental stewardship, and the commercial systems that we have in place don't invite that in a serious and consistent and frankly sustainable way.
And what would you say is the main contribution of the book to the field of global communication with its history, its traditions, its paradigms?
Well, global communication has been very, very good at thinking through issues that are related to politics, culture, economics. And so if one's familiar with the theoretical traditions, there's a lot there in which you can take and build on for new projects. What we have not been good at as global media scholars in the field of international communication is thinking about the environment and linking that tradition that we have, those areas of research, of theory that have been strong, and linking those to questions that, in my view, are vital, which are environmental issues and the politics of the earth, to use a phrase from John Dryzik and his work on environmental discourses, and finding a way in which we can bring that into our own conversations about meeting globalizations, whether it's from a local perspective or from that something is more transnational. And so really I think that's a vital contribution of the book, to engage that conversation, and hopefully that it'll be worthwhile read for folks, and that they'll want to continue that in their own work and really make the environment something that I think has a little more salience within the field.
Thank you. And what's next for you? What are you working on next?
Right now I want to follow up and look more at local media, less commercial, more citizens media, more the way in which communities create meaning and along the lines of the environment in ways that are alternative to what I explore in this book. And I think that's an important area, because there are things that are popping up throughout the world where folks who have experiences with wildfires, with flooding, with different forms of ways in which global climate change is affecting their lives, they're starting to interact with their own messages, their own media making, and I think that's an exciting area of inquiry.
Thank you again. My guest today is Patrick Murphy, professor at Temple University and author of The Media Commons, Globalization and Environmental Discourses, available from the University of Illinois Press. This was the first episode of CARG Books. I thank you for your attention. Please look for us again.